Okay, so to decorate our folio, we will work one page at a time. So to cover this, I chose this paper. To cover those fronts, I will use this one. So let's pre-cut this. So for this smaller piece, which measures 3¼ by 7½, so 3¼3 inches, should be actually 3 inches by 7¼ I want certain design in it, so I'm cutting on both sides, but the dimension is 3 by 7¼ so that's gonna be for the little piece. Now those two pieces measure about 5 by 4, so we need to cut it to 3 3/4 by 4 3/4, and we need 2 of them, 4 3/4. So this will be for those two pieces. And I have a little bit left, so we're gonna cover this side. Which we're gonna cut to 3. It's gonna be the same dimension as this piece, so 3 by 7¼ 3 by 7¼ So now we're gonna glue this. So this piece will be right here, but I'm gonna start with those pieces first. So before we glue them, I need to remove the backing from the double-sided tape. I'm just trying to see to make sure I got the right pieces. So we're gonna glue this one and approximately 1/8 of an inch border around. Just like that. And it's easier for me to work this way, so I turn it around. We're gonna glue the second piece. Now we know that there are magnets in here, so be careful around the magnets. You don't want to rip the paper. So now we can work on this piece, but we will also remove the backing. We should have approximately also 1/8 of an inch border around. Be careful with the magnets. You don't want to rip the paper. So on the side of the magnet, just make sure that the edge is nicely glued. And now we can work on this piece. And now you can hear it, what a nice closure we have. So now I'm choosing not to add any paper in here and on the inside. I'm leaving that space for pictures. But we definitely need to decorate on the inside to cover all those joints. So from score to score, it's 5.5 by 8.25. So I will also choose this paper to match. When you open up, I want everything to match. So we will cut this paper to 5.25. I have to trim this. Five and a quarter by 8. So we're gonna glue it just like that. So I do want to match this side with this paper. So I'm gonna cut this, and first we're gonna measure. That's 5 inches by about 7.5. So we will cut to 4 3/4 by 7.25. And I'm also trying to position 1/8 of an inch space all around. Okay. Now, just to create a little bit more interest, I do have this paper left. So I will make this really simple, and I will cut 2-inch strip, and actually 2 of them. 1 and 2. Now we're gonna make little pockets on both sides, but I like my corners rounded. You can round the corners with the scissors also. So now to make those packets, and I'm going to position them just like that on both sides in the center, just so you can tag a picture or two on both sides. So I'm going to just apply a little bit of glue only on one side, and I'm trying to position this on the middle. Now the way I position this, I still want to see that black trim, just because I want to make it look all uniform all around. I think this is just nicer look. So this page is done. We're gonna glue this also approximately on the middle, and I also want to see this border around, so I will position just like that. So this is all done. These two panels I choose to leave as they are for the pictures, or maybe you want to put a little note. You can stick little notes in here to say something about the pictures you're gonna place on those pages. So now we need to decorate this page. So for this page, I'm choosing this paper. It's from the same collection. So the paper that you have in that collection, no matter which one you pick, it will fit perfectly within the design of your pages. The only thing you should pay attention to is when you place paper and you have busy page, like this one is gonna close this way. So I don't want too busy of a page to show up in here, because when you open up your folio, you want nice presentation to make sure that everything flows. And I think that this paper, it's kind of wrapping everything around. So the page is 5, and I thought we said 7 and 7.5. So we're gonna cut the paper to 4 3/4 by 7 1/4. And we will place it right here. Also, I'm paying attention to the outside borders. You want about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. So I think that all these pages really work well together. So when you open up, everything is matching. You can put your pictures in here also. So this side is done. So to cover this page, I will use those 2 sheets of paper, and we will pre-cut this. But let me remove the band for a moment, so we can take the dimensions, and I will write them down somewhere. So we will need 5 1/2, so we need to cut to 5 1/4, 8 1/4, so 8 inches high. This sheet is 5 wide, so we're gonna cut 4 3/4 by 3 3/4. And we're gonna have to cut paper for here, which will be 5 1/2, so 5 1/4 by 8. So from this solid sheet we will cut 5 1/4 by 8. I will need another piece, 5 1/4 by 8. And we will need 2 pieces from this one, 4 3/4 wide by 3 3/4 high, and we need 2 of these. Okay, we got our pieces cut. So I want to position this one right here, this one right here, and I will run ink around that. I don't want to see those white edges. I think this just gives you really nice look. I will do that on both sheets. So we're gonna glue this one in here, this one in here, and those 2 pieces. When you close those 2 flaps, we're gonna glue it, one in here and one in here, just like that. So let me glue these off camera and I show you how they look like. Okay, so I glued the pieces together and this is how it looks. Now in here I do want to leave it plain, just the way it is, because we will decorate this page. Now we do have our band that goes right here, and from the same collection I did cut apart, which I'm gonna place it in here, but to me this looks a little bit too plain, so I still have left over this piece, so I think I'm gonna put it underneath and then this on top of it. But we need to pre-trim this. So our packet is 3 inches wide, so I'm gonna cut this piece down to 2 1/2. And I do want a bigger border on the top and the bottom, because I want this to stick out, but I might trim this just a tiny bit because I really do want to create layers. So I'm gonna trim it just like that. So now we can glue this piece. And I'm trying to position this on the middle, which I think this is it. Okay. Now we will position this right like that on the top. I like this way better. Again, we are trying to position this on the middle, just like that. So now this we can slide on the top and then like this on the middle. So now if you like this project, if you enjoy this video, please comment, like, share and subscribe. This really helps my channel a lot and I would really appreciate that. So thank you so much for doing this. So on this side I have this piece left and I'm thinking of creating almost like an angle pocket, just like this. Actually, maybe we create just like that. I like this better. So this is 4.5. Okay, so this is 4.5, a little bit more. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just draw the line from here to here. Not draw the line, but I am gonna cut it. Okay. And this will be our pocket, and I'm gonna layer it just like that. I still wanna see some of this border. So we will apply the glue only on two sides, thin amount of glue, just like that. Okay, and I think I'm pretty happy with this. So we have this page done, and now we will work on this one. You know, I think we're gonna skip this one because I can see some cardstock in here, and because we want to match everything, let's skip this and we will work on this. So in here we will need 3 pieces of paper. So for this side, which is 5 inches, this is 5, and this one is 5.5, and the height will be different. So 5 inches, 5 inches. This way we have 8 on both sides, and the middle is a little bit taller. Okay. So for both sides I'm gonna use this paper, and we will cut 2, 4 3/4, 4 3/4, and actually I want more of a design, so I will do 4 3/4, but I do want to capture the entire design. And the height is 8 inches, So we're gonna cut to 7 3/4. So this will be for both sides. And for the middle, we need 5 1/4 by 8. So I will use this stack, 5 1/4 by 8. So we will glue it just like that. This one on the middle and those pieces on both sides. Of course, I'm gonna remove the backing of the tape and glue it just like that. So let me glue off camera and I will be right back. Okay, so I glue those pieces together, and in this collection there is a page with ephemera and some decorative strips. So I cut out one of those strips for the bottom and for the top, just so this page is not that bare. But I'm gonna apply the glue only one strip on the bottom, just like that, because that will create almost like a little pocket. If you want to slip in a little note or something like that, that's gonna give you a little room to do that. And for the top, I am gonna glue the whole entire piece. Just like that. But I think this just gives this very nice finishing touch, and you have plenty of room for your pictures, or maybe you want to place the picture in here and a little, I don't know, maybe like a cream color paper for your little notes, or maybe you want to print your notes on a piece of paper. So now we need to decorate those two portions, and to make that a little bit brighter, I will use some of this cardstock. So let's measure 5 inches by 4. So we will, let's see, that's 7. So we're gonna cut it this way. And actually no, we're gonna cut 4 and another 4, because this is directional paper, so we have to pay attention how we cut. So I think I'm gonna trim this off a little bit, because I don't want this to show up, and now I want this to be on the front. So I will cut 5 inches this way. Oops. And now I'm gonna glue them just like this. And I cut them too big. I need to trim each side 1/4 inch, so we really need 4 3/4 by 3 3/4. 4 3/4 by 3 3/4. Okay. All right. So this is the reason why I always try it out before gluing, because it's better to catch something that you see it might be wrong right away. Then you start gluing it, and then it could be a problem. About 1/8 of an inch space all around, just like that. The same thing on this side. So now we need to decorate this page. So from all the colors that I see that are in here, I want something busier but not too busy. So I have this piece left, and I think it's gonna fit very nicely in here. So let me measure first before we cut it. That's gonna be 5 by 8, I believe, yes. Okay, so we're gonna cut this to 4 3/4 by 7 3/4. Just like that. So let's remove the backing tape. Just like that. So you have nice space for your pictures. Now we can decorate those 2 pages. So what I was thinking of making a little pocket in here on this side. And I will use this paper. So for the pocket we need this. We're gonna cut 8 inches. And pocket width we will make 2.5. And we're gonna glue it just like that. We will apply glue only to 3 sides, and really just a thin strip. Just like that. Now they are some decorative papers or little catapults that I think I will use on this page, and I think I'm gonna use this one. And we will place it right here. Now I could apply glue only on 3 sides, so you can put something in there, but I didn't. So now we can decorate this, and I want to decorate with the same paper that is here, so everything flows nicely. So we know that the width of those packets is 5 inches. So we really have to concentrate on the height. So the piece that I have left, it's 4 3/4, which is perfect. If we position right here. So now we need 2 2/4, 1 3/4. So 2 3/4, 2 1/4. So that's one. The second one is 2 inches, so we need 1 3/4. And the third one, it's 1 1/2, so we need 1 1/4. Just like that. So I'm gonna glue all these pieces and I will be right back. Okay, so these 2 pages we will cover with this brown paper. So let's take the measurements. This one is 5 1/2, this one is 4 3/4. So we will cut the paper to 5 1/4. And one more 4 3/4. Now for the height, the one that measures 4 3/4, the height will be 7 3/4. And that will be applied right here. And this one, it's 8 1/4, so we need to cut down to 8 inches. So let's glue this. And again, about 1/8 of an inch border all around, just like that. Okay. Now we have some of this paper left. So I'm gonna pre-cut this one to about 2.5 inches, 2 inches. And we will make pocket on this side. And for this side, we need 4.5, I think 4.5, 5 inches wide. And we're gonna make this one 2.5 inches tall. So this one will be here. Now for the top, I will cut cardstock. And we will cut 6 inches. And we will cut 4 inches tall. So we got 6 inches width. We will split this in half. So we're gonna cut it at 3 inches. So we got 2 pieces that are 4 inches one way and 3 inches the other way. Those 2 pieces we will score. So here is 3-inch side, and we will score 1/2 inch both pieces. We will fold them and we will create a little window. Now I will round those 2 corners and I will angle from the score to the edge on both sides. So now we can glue our pockets. So we're going to apply a little bit of glue on 3 sides. And we will glue it just like that to create the pocket. So you can put your pictures, your notes, anything you want right there. And we do the same thing to this one, only we're gonna apply glue only to 3 sides. And we will glue it to the bottom. Now those 2 pieces, they will create a little window. And we will create that window right here. So let's apply the glue to the 1/2 inch flap. And we will position just like that. Let's make sure it's all stuck. And we will do the same thing to the other part. So this is the other part of the window. And I'm trying to align both of those pieces nice and straight to each other. And let's make sure they stuck. And here is our little window. We're gonna just apply another layer. So this is 4 inches. I'm gonna cut to 3 7/8. Just a smidge shorter than the window itself. And we can apply this right here. So you almost can't see it when you close the window. Just like that, position on the middle. Now for the outside, I want something a little bit different, so I'm gonna take different paper from the same collection. Okay, and I think I want portion of the map to show up on those windows. So I'm gonna trim the paper. And I am gonna measure the window, which is 4. And the width is 2.5. So we need to cut down the paper to 3 3/4. And I'm gonna cut this right here on the middle. And I'm gonna use that portion, cut down to 2 1/4. And 2 1/4. So those are the pieces of map I want to use on both sides, but I also need to round the corners so they would match the window itself. So here is one, and here is the other. So now I'm just gonna apply the glue. We're gonna glue it just like that. And then this one will go on this side. Just like that. So now, if you have any ephemera or cut apart or a card, this is what's actually gonna hold this window closed. So as you can see, we have a lot of different pockets in here. So the only thing we still need to do, we need to cover the back, front, and this portion on the back. So I just realized that, you know, after I finished recording and I started editing the video, I realized that I am missing two pieces of the video. So after I pre-cut the front paper for the front, for the spine and for the back, I glue it just the way you see it right here. So we ended up with 1/8 of an inch border all around it. So what I also did is create that little pocket in here, and that pocket I created from sheet from the same collection, and the sheet looked like this. So what I did cut this strip right here, this one, and that one. So I just cut it along this side, cut it to size, and I applied glue only on 3 sides and placed it right here. So the height of this pocket, it's 2 inches and 1/8, and the length is 5 inches and 7/8. So this is what I have done in here, and I also applied black Velcro right here, and I made that little closure. The closure, I made it from leftover piece, and what I did, I cut it, and of course I'm not gonna glue it, but I'm gonna show you exactly what I did. So I did cut it to 2.5 inches width, and what I needed is, the spine is 2 inches wide, so I need this piece to be 2 inches wide. I needed 1 inch on the front, and I have approximately 2 inches on the back, so the total is 2 plus 2, that's 4, 5 inches long piece. So after I measured this piece down to 5 inches long, 2.5 inches wide, I scored at 3/4 of an inch the long way. I turned it around 3/4 of the inch, and I made the folds. So after I made the folds, I glued all those pieces together so it looked just like that. When I glued them, I scored again one side right here at 1 inch and 3 inches. So the space in between the scores, it gave me the 2 inches I needed to be the same as the spine. And right now it seems like all of this is a little bit loose, but it should be that way, because when you actually start filling up this folio with the pictures, you will get a little bit more bulk. And you want to make sure that all of your pictures are gonna fit, and your folio is nice and square all around. So this is the reason why this spacing is 2 inches. So then I just glued just like this. This is on the back, then you have 2 inches, and I applied Velcro on both sides. And this is our finished folio. So we have a packet right here. You can put big picture, you can put little notes. You open this, you got little space in here, you can put little notes. You got plenty of spaces for your pictures right here. You got place for bigger picture on this side, or maybe you want to make little notes as a description what you have right here. So in here you can put a nice big picture or two pictures. You have another packet on this side. You got plenty of room for your pictures. This closes with the magnet. You have a packet right here. You have packet in here for whatever you like, little notes, more pictures. Then we have the slide. You open, you got plenty of room for your pictures. You slide this up, you got plenty room for more pictures, or you can just remove this and open up your pictures. And we can close this back. Just like that. In here you have a little packet. When you remove your picture, your note card, you have more space for your pictures or notes. You have packet right here, another packet right here for more photos. This one, it's of course for smaller pictures, bigger pictures, or really tall ones. And you have packet on this side. So this is the entire folio. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like it. And if you did, please click like, share, comment, subscribe. All of this really help my channel, and I would really appreciate if you would do that.